Morning, folks. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. It is fight day. It is indeed Saturday, August the 16th. And later today in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, we're going to see maybe how good Moses ITAUMA really is. If DILLIAN WHYTE is enough of a challenge, or possibly could he be a banana skin? We don't know yet. I think the smart money is on Moses winning, and winning convincingly. But, you know, it is heavyweight boxing. And we've also got David ADELEYE taking a very big step up in tackling HRGOVIC. Again, what will happen? We will find out in a few hours' time. I should actually say that I think it's the early hours of Sunday morning in Riyadh by the time Moses and DILLIAN enter the ring. But for me, it'll all be done and dusted by this afternoon. I'm several time zones behind Saudi Arabia. Yesterday we had the weigh-ins. Weigh-ins at heavyweight boxing. Can they tell us anything? Only, I think, at the extreme edges do they tell us very much. Infamously, I guess, Martin Bakole, breaking the scale at, I don't know, whatever it was, 320 pounds. That probably told us something. People like Alexander Usyk, who kind of hit a weight consistently as though they are still in a lower weight class. Again, that tells us something. And usually the answer is discipline. How disciplined the fighter is, the consistency of weight, or sometimes they'll tell us a fighter is, really trying to increase the power, the punch resistance. Lawrence Okolie would be an example, right? I mean, that man's gained like 60 pounds in a relatively short period of time, moving from cruiser to bridger and now heavyweight. Sometimes it'll tell us that a fighter is trying to possibly recapture a previous career high, maybe try to increase speed. And sometimes it'll show us that a fighter is really trying to focus and take this fight seriously. But in the main, I don't get too excited about heavyweight's weight, especially, of course, in the land of the giants. We have fighters who, routinely weigh in excess of 250 pounds. So it's kind of like, who cares? What's the difference between 250 and 255 kind of thing? When heavyweight boxers were often in the very low 200s, a fighter who moved from 202 to sort of 215, you might be, whoa, what's going on here? But, as a percentage of body weight, it likely doesn't make that much difference these days. Having said that, let's just run through the four heavyweights who are fighting today, or tomorrow if you're in Saudi Arabia. Let's start off with David ADELEYE. David ADELEYE's last fight, he weighed 239. Now, I'm going to be rounding these numbers. I'm not too concerned about a half pound either here nor there. Especially, these guys are wearing track pants. Sometimes they're wearing watches, jewelry, whatever, right? Let's not get too carried away. David ADELEYE yesterday weighed in at 240. So pretty much the same weight. A pound or pound and a half really doesn't matter, For those of you who are thinking in old money, that's what, like 17 stone or so, right? It really doesn't matter. So what does that tell us? Shows us that he's hit his weight, he's comfortable with, he's consistent. Let's move to HRGOVIC. His last fight, he weighed 250. He's now 9 pounds lighter at 241. That's enough to sort of, pique my interest. It tells me that Abel Sanchez in Big Bear has worked HRGOVIC. HRGOVIC looked good. He's trimmed some of that fat off him. And it might tell us that his gas tank is going to be better and that he's hoping to be a little bit more fleet of foot. So 241 yesterday, I'm saying that that's worth paying attention to. It tells me that HRGOVIC has trained harder than he has in previous fights. And, as we know, HRGOVIC has rightly or wrongly got a reputation of not really being committed. Abel Sanchez appears to have ignited some level of commitment. Let's look at the top two. Let's start with Moses. Moses' last outing against Mike Bologin, he weighed 254. He's now 245. That tells me that Moses has worked hard, that he's taken this fight seriously, that he's trimmed down. He's probably trying to build on that already ridiculously fast speed that he's got. Hand speed, I mean. And there have been some writings that suggest that, you know, for a 20-year-old, he was a little bit pudgy. Well, now at 9 pounds lighter, that pudginess is gone. So it tells me that Moses has had a good camp and that he's leaned down. And saving the best for last, if you like, a full 17-pound weight, no, not 17, yes, 17-pound weight loss for DILLIAN WHYTE, whose last adventure against Ebenezer Tete, he weighed 261 pounds. He's now 244. This is one of the lowest weights that DILLIAN has ever achieved and is back almost to sort of like peak DILLIAN. That shows me that, again, he's taken this very, very seriously. And let's just assume, please, that this is a natural weight loss. I know with DILLIAN there's been a number of issues in the past. Let's just set that aside for the moment. If something ever comes out, then we can come back and talk about it. But moving from a flabby 261 to a, dare I say, chiseled 244 tells me that DILLIAN has taken this seriously. He and Buddy McGirt have been working hard. He's come to put his best foot forward. Will it be enough against Moses? Most of us think not. I've predicted Moses to win in the 4th round. I'd like it to be the case that DILLIAN takes him into deeper and more treacherous waters. We'll find out in a few hours. But there's the tail of the tape, as it were, or maybe the tail of the scale. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Most importantly, have a fabulous day. Please like, please share, please subscribe if you can, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.